Hello everyone, welcome back. Checking on the crops today. It is Sunday, and I will do that sometimes on Sundays. But this will be our next picking of corn. We got a little bit of a gap between what we've got in the field ready right now and this. This is a couple weeks out. It tasseled out this week. We've had some rain this weekend. I actually sprayed it the first time Friday for worms, and you can see how it's just starting to silk, and we want to get the treatment on this silk so as the moths lay their eggs in the silk, the worm doesn't hatch out in the ear. And the way corn is pollinated is by wind. You got your pollen on the tassel, and it falls down, and each one of these silks are connected to a kernel of corn, and you get the pollen on it, and it pollinates that particular kernel on the cob. So, and I don't know where you can see it, but if I shake it, you can see the pollen coming off of it. So corn's wind pollinated. That's the way that works. And you can see 2 ears per stalk. This was the first field that I planted with the 2-row John Deere corn planter, and of course I was learning, but it done pretty good. Yeah, we got 8-inch spacing down here, and then 30 inch between. But the corn looks good. It's got a good color to it. This variety's kind of short. It'll top out around 6 feet. This lower end down here was a little wetter. You can see the corn shorter, but the upper end, the fertility on the upper end's better. Corn's a little higher, but that's what we're doing. This is the field where we had the excessive rain the other day. This plot here had just been seeded when we had the rain, but we've still got a pretty decent stand in it from the looks of it. I didn't get as good a weed control on this as I'd liked on this particular field. Grass was the one that we had escape, which is pretty common. You know, corn is a grass, so the herbicides for grass can be a little more difficult. But people often ask me, well, why don't you cultivate your corn versus using a herbicide? Well, simply put, I can, for about $75 an acre, I can use a herbicide, and it cost me a couple $100 to cultivate it. So the way margins are, that's where we're at. Let me show you something. See this? That has been a deer has bit the end off of that. You can see right down here, it didn't even eat it, but and right there's the deer tracks. So you can see this corn's taller, a little farther along. That one there is making an ear, so looks pretty good. The biggest weed I've got is in the rows here. If you get over in the corn, you can see it's pretty clean, and you can see, I hope you can see that pollen come off of that. So it's making. We got some rain past 2 days, which wasn't best for me spraying, but it's good for making the kernel, or making the ear, if you will. So that's a good thing. But that's where that's at. We do have a small patch that we are picking if we can keep the stinking blackbirds out of it. We have probably lost close to 50% of our corn this year due to blackbirds. And it is, if I can think of it, I'll stop by and show it to you. But, you know, my goodness, but it's been one of those years. We were talking about this the other day. It's just been one of those years. But anyhow, let's, so that's corn, and this is just one farm, and the ground's muddy. I mean, I'm wading through mud right now. Which, you know, we need rain. I know there's parts of the world that desperately need it. There's parts of the world that's getting way too much. That's just part of it. When you're farming, you're dealing with the weather. There's nothing you can do about the weather. It's just roll with the punches, if you will. But you can see, I hope you can see, there's actually two different varieties. This variety on the upper end's a little slower. Could be fertility. It could be that it's just the varietal. I don't know. But we get into a different variety down here. It's a little better along. It's a little farther along. So this will be the last picking of sweet corn we got. I've got this field planted and the one down here below the broccoli. That will be our absolute last. We'll be probably picking that close to October. Which, sometimes the corn market's not the best in the world then, but you can see here, I hope you can see, this corn's a little bigger. It's planted the same day, same night actually. And here's some broccoli that we transplanted Saturday, or Friday, 2 days ago. It's looking good. A little shower of rain really helped hit. It looks real good. We've still got about 10,000 more broccoli to set. There is some Savoy cabbage that's looking decent. We'll see how it turns out. Down here is something we've never grown before, and we don't have much of it, just a little bit. You can see the rain, the winds turned the broccoli over, but that's no big deal. This is cauliflower. Yeah, cauliflower. I have no idea what it looks like, to be honest with you. It's funky looking stuff. I don't know whether it's starting to head or, I know nothing about cauliflower. So that's where we're at on that. So some of that broccoli don't look so well. Some of it looks pretty good. Hopefully it'll be a profitable enterprise. Been a tough year. I'd like to make a little money. I like one crop do well anyhow. So our pumpkins are fixing to bloom. We are currently picking summer squash, both yellow crookneck and zucchini, which we will be doing first thing in the morning. The plan is I've got to come in and till this up. Now you can see we're having a, maybe not see, we're having some water issues at the in the middle out there, about 2/3 of the way out. So we're just going to plant this end is the plan. I messed up on this farm. I should have turned all my rows this way, so the rain would have drained out between the row middles instead of damming up. But there was a reason I turned them this way. It was because of different planting times. You live and learn. Next year I will turn the rows up and down. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna put, if I got 10,000 plants, I need 5,000 row feet. So I need nearly an acre. I've got another little spot of land that I can put some in, but I'm probably going to till about half of this up, or I'll till it all up, but put plastic mulch down on about half of it and plant that. And then we'll be done planting, I hope. Now, this corn down here, same situation. It was planted, that's been in the ground about a week, I guess. Once again, the heavy rain event. But you can see that actually got a pretty good stand down here. Looks pretty good. I was more worried about this because it's on the lower end of the field and all the rain drains down in here, of course. But it looks pretty decent. I planted this at night. So if the rows are a little crooked, actually they look straighter than the ones I planted during the day. So go figure, right? Anyhow, that's but all this field is in sweet corn. Basically what I've done is used up all the remaining seed to plant this, and it looks pretty good. I'm pleased, beyond pleased with the stand that's still here. Now hopefully it will make it. Desperately needs to dry out. You know, it's one of those deals. We need some, you know, dry weather, but drought don't need a drought. So you know, it's always, there's always a fine line there. So but that looks pretty good. So I'm pleased with this so far. Very pleased with it. You can see right here, up through here where it's held water, and the water settled right here, it ran out from that up there. So what I've done to kind of keep that from standing in water was, there was an existing ditch here and I just cleaned it out to kind of help it drain, which has seemed to help. I hope it helps. But anyhow, so kind of where we're at right now, mid-July, mid to late July, whatever it is. I think it's 22nd, something like that. Is we're almost wrapped up planting. We are we have crops in the ground. We are harvesting. This week we'll be harvesting corn and summer squash, and then our pumpkins are getting ready to bloom. So you know, I've had years farming where I've had multiple crops out, and the very first crop was very profitable. Didn't do good on the rest of them, and I've had them, you know, I've had them all flop one year except one. I've had them all flop. I've had them all do well. So you know, about 3 months from now we'll know how this year was. But until then, we just got to keep working and keep hoping that everything goes good, and keep hoping and praying that everything goes good. But anyhow, that's kind of a Sunday crop update on this field anyhow. And we were what we'll do, we'll stop and check on the corn that's behind this. That's a bicolor, and the lower half of that field was planted same day as the other corn we'll stop and look at. So we'll stop and check on that. So hang on. Okay, so this is the second patch of corn that I was going to stop and show you. There's about an acre of this, and it is just now starting to tassel. You can see the tassels are opening up. They don't have the pollen on them like the other. This corn's about a week later. One thing I did notice spraying this the other day, and this corn's taller, it's a different variety. It's got a darker color green to it. It's good looking corn. I've never grown it before. It's Yalla Super Sweet. But one thing I did notice on this corn the other day when I was spraying it is every stalk looks like it's set in 2 ears, and right here would be your ear. Right there would be your next one. But I noticed several of them look like they were set in 3 ears to a stalk, which is Kind of unusual for sweet corn, but we'll see how it goes. You can see on this one, there's 1, 2. But if I can find one that's looked like it was setting 3. But yeah, this corn's coming along too. I really like growing sweet corn. I don't know why, but I do. It's just one of those things. I enjoy it. Here's, man, maybe 1, 2, 3. So maybe they're setting 3 years. It's a little early to tell, but and there's another one. So we'll see. I can average around 200 bushel to an acre. I have in the past, let's say I can, but you know, we'll see how it goes. But anyhow, thanks for watching. If you enjoy what we're doing, please subscribe. All we're trying to do is just kind of show you the inside peek of the life of a small part-time farmer. Hope you enjoy it, and be sure to like a video if you see you like it. Comment, let us know what you think, and hit that subscribe button with a little notification bell so you'll know when we post. We try to post about every day. Some days we don't, but this corn looks good, and we will talk to you guys later.